Thank you. I'm really honored to be here. I thank Mr. Carlos Pesenti and the Pesenti family, for whom I have immense respect in the way they run the company and the family culture. That's why I'm here today, and all the academics, to be in this company. It's a real honor and a pleasure. As for the first question, how the first question again?
How do you judge the
family
way of family-owned companies and market-owned companies?
Actually, Professor has very succinctly presented the anatomy of family companies. As a matter of fact, most of the companies, except today, when even in the digital age of today, the companies are started by a person. A person eventually becomes a family. And if that company becomes sustainable because of that entrepreneurship skills, then it becomes a family holding and spreads globally. But the most important factor that I realize with the family, we identify ourselves with a corporation. The corporation is not just a legal entity of bottom lines, profits and losses. It's actually our family honor and our family reputation. It starts with nationally and then globally. The challenges we are facing as a family, as I said, one thing is nepotism. Nepotism is a natural factor. I, as a grandmother, I'm supposed to ensure that my grandson, and I look at my grandson as the future chairman, 30 years from now, of the holding company. I don't think of it negatively as nepotism. It's just family affiliation. It's almost an obligation. But at the same time, we have to recognize, although we don't like it, like not every offspring, not every relative and sibling are capable to manage the company and manage the different companies of the companies. And therefore, that we have to have scholars, academics. We have to have experts come in different sectors to assist us. The risk is when we have professionals who come into the company, and the company is largely owned by the family, is that we have to literally work very hard to communicate to the professionals, whether in the board or in the management, that we respect and appreciate their opinion. And how do you get that? The important thing is from the chairman down to the sweeper. Every member of that family has to consider the family as their family. Consider the company as the sense of belonging. It's my company. Come hell or high water. It sinks, we sink together. How do you get that? By actually respecting the family. Respect is not automatic, not because we have many billions in the bank account. Respect is earned. And what is actually the tool that earns respect is actually compassion, respect, sharing. When they know you are the honor of the company, but with you, the employee, all the strata, you give the impression we are all together in this. In the end, it's just a fact. And that's the ultimate democracy. What we create, we live it. And we go back like everybody else. So with that, just to feel all of them are family, it is a paradox inside. Family likes the family to be the most good-looking, the most healthy, the most cultured, the most admired, but not everybody like that. So it's a challenge that will be ongoing. Now, in 100 years from now, it's something natural, the immediate family. But we have to change the paradigm, the mindset, to transform ourselves from feeling the immediate family to the extended family to the global family. I'm saying I have gone through the transformation. we are by nature psychologically accustomed by categories. Government, they have their jobs, the roles and everything. Academics, they have their class. Public sector, they have several classes. Multinationals, medium companies, SMEs, and micro. This is our own classification. The multinational can remain multinational except with the complete cooperation of the micro. Then we identify ourselves. I am from a Maskari family. Then I am Abu Dhabian, not UAE, I'm Abu Dhabian. Then I am from United Arab Emirates. I am me, I'm a Muslim, I'm Arab. I am from MENA countries. Okay, because I was taught that from beginning. I'm an Arab. Then when I find who are the Arabs. But what we are not recognizing, the old mindset is no longer in context. The world has inadvertently progressed to be global world. Our markets, our currencies, our politics, the food we eat, and our banks all depend on global cooperation. So we have moved from that unit of a family, community, society, country, to being global. Like the Italcimenti, they're in 20 countries. All those 20 countries, what is the most important thing when you are in a different country? To understand the culture, to integrate with the people, to communicate with the people, so that the people feel you are one of them, you are for their common good. And now, whether we like it or not, we have been globalized. The markets, and not only, we have globalized with the technology, innovation has created surprises. We in the Arab world, particularly in our holding company, our business is oil and gas. I was just thinking that I would never ever think of Mexico as a competitor. Mexico concentrated on the United States, the biggest guzzler of petroleum gas. They were comfortable. Next door, cheap, they have very good oil. Australia, minerals, all they have to do is look to their neighbors, Southeast Asia, Japan, China. They don't need anybody in the world. We depended on Europe for our products, and some of it to the East. Just a surprise of surprise, which is a good lesson. United States entered fracking. It's not an overnight thing that mushroomed. For 40, 50 years, they were studying it. They were planning it. And suddenly they announce it. We are going fracking. Then you hear, this one is fracking, this now. It's a new reality. Therefore, we create a new competition. What is the most important thing? Is to have your competitor actually as a family. I pick up the phone and call Pemex. I said, hey guys, I thought you're all very cozy with the Yankees, but now we are going to have fun, we are going to compete. So what it is, the most important thing is, number one, change your mindset. The world has changed. We are a global family. Number two, financially, economically, corporate-wise, we are global whether we like it or not. Number three, when we want to grow or even to sustain ourselves, we are dependent on every strata of the economy. How do we do that? To ensure selfishness, to ensure our own sustainability, to ensure every strata of the economy is also encouraged, assisted to be sustainable. So we have seen all the categories, capitalism, socialism, all. But I think if we look at the history, we started with feudalism everywhere, from the Arab world to Europe. The feudal lord had the castle and everything, took care of everybody, and everybody was happy. And everybody bent to the family. But now, what is a challenge? I'm running out. What is the challenge? there is another change that is required, not only globalization, digital world. What did it bring? Transparency. Confidential, strictly confidential. Before you know it, it's first page on YouTube. Okay? So before, where we can have our hanky-panky covert activities, knowing that this government is hiding me, and no. The world is transparent, and we have to look at the paradigm change is a reality. There, and the biggest challenge. The third challenge, we always look our government, state, big godfather, ourselves as, the economy, the operating economy. We are missing out one thing. The youth. The youth of today and the baby born today will be the government, the middle class, the farmer, the industrial, the innovator of the future. We cannot leave. Majority of the youth today are not only lack employment, are unemployed, but they're given education which is insufficient. Education that become not employable. And that one is we have to ensure we are not just giving the youth education and say the right of every youth in Italy is to be educated to secondary school at university. No, I have to be quick. But we think of youth as our resources. We do not understand it. When I sit with the youth, I realize they're much smarter than ever we can be. They have been smartized by the digital world. So we take their opinions, we serve their world. They are now growing, they are the leaders, they're not the future leaders, they are leaders now. Who are the poor? We have to have a system in which develop not private banking, the days of us, I'm talking of the Arab world, and the rest of the world, it does. Private banking, the private banker from JP Morgan, Bank of America, they come and show me presentation, invest. This is return on capital. It's gone. We have seen what has happened in the Arab world. The power of fast mass communication. Protesters can be amassed into millions and nothing. Nobody can censor them. We have seen what is happening in Ukraine, what is happening in Arab Spring. Well-settled dictators thrown up. That mass communication is a lesson for us. We are not doing anything in our little nuke. Therefore, the poor they are our resources. We have to go social enterprise. I just beg your pardon, just 2 more minutes. I have a friend who is academic. I really like academics. I get educated. Every time you sit with them, you find out something new. Academic in a Middle East university in Ankara. He was also a politician, academic politician. Now that's something proactive. But he came from a place really nobody knows, the furthest area of Turkey. It's called Diyarbakir. And then that's the poorest province of Turkey. Of course, I'm ignorant. I know Istanbul, Ankara, and tourist place. He kept on come to my constituency. At last I got fed up with him. We over lunch. I said, here, let's go. I thought it's half an hour, 1 hour. Got in his aircraft, 3.5 hours. He said, are you kidnapping me? No, you're coming to my province. Got there. Second day, he took me around this beautiful city. Tigris and Euphrates march together. What happened? Every block you see little boys, not little, like 18 to 25 to 30, they were drinking tea. I asked him, Professor, is it a public holiday? Why? So what are these youngsters are drinking tea? He said, that's why I brought you here. We have 90% unemployment. To make the story short, I didn't know anything at all. Microcredit is just a coincidence. I returned home. I'm accustomed to watch my news, who is killing whom in the world, BBC or CNN over lunch at home. And I saw this professor, Mohsin Yunus. Nobody knew about him. He was being interviewed about microcredit. I called the professor in Ankara. He'd never heard of him. I said, get hold of him, let us see what he does. Make the story short. 13th June, 2003. I don't speak Turkish. I don't know it. The first time I went that day, we went there. 2003, 13th June, we opened our first microcredit. They call it the Poor Man's Bank. We will give loans, you start your entrepreneurship, no collateral, we trust you. 99%, 10 years, no default. 98% women entrepreneurs. And today we have over 65,000 successful entrepreneurs with 40 offices throughout Turkey. It started just, but then I found something, and it's our psychology. I don't like, we in our organization, Family Holding, we don't accept debt. We don't take debt, we don't give debt, because it's not Islamic compliance. You take interest. Interest is not allowed to give or take. So I come up with social enterprise. Social enterprise, whatever business you have. You want to open hairdressing, a restaurant shop, a manufacturing place, I will give you the capital you need. We will evaluate that capital is how much of your company, 90%, 95%, but we never go less than the founder. 10% is yours. Now you want €1 million? Here. Not only the money, you give financial management, all other administrative support, and the social mentors. He is a partner. Whether it's a taxi cab, as he grows and pays back the capital, he acquires 100% of his company. Now, we are launching that in Algeria. We have 5 Middle East countries we are going to launch that to make everybody, when we think of the poor, they are not poor because they're stupid. It's just the system makes them poor. Give them opportunity. They are actually as smart and wise like everybody else. So the idea of capitalism is there. We need entrepreneurs. We need the people who want to be more and more. But philanthropic capitalism. We call it benevolent capitalism and social enterprise.
Thank you.
That's what I think.